Hello Reds, welcome along to All for United.
That Champions League next year. How are you doing? Welcome to the Europa League Champions of the World stream. This is All for United. United have just won. Well, we've not won, we've lost, but we've won, if that makes sense. You know what? I'm pissed off. Before I start saying silly things like I usually do, right? I'm pissed off because the one time we get to a final under Ollie, we still fucking lose the semi. Oh, right, whatever. Right, I've got it out of my system, right? Got out of the system. We've lost the semi. That's fine. We still got through. Yeah, we're in the fucking Europa League final, and we got to watch Arsenal fucking lose to Unai Emery. Oh, Unai wheel is he? Is he? Yeah, looks like he is. How are we doing, everyone? Get in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling. Tell me how handsome Edinson Cavani is. How many of you are your first child, Edinson? Because I am. I've got Connor, I've got Wesley, I've got Callum, I've got Matt, and I've got Andrew Wall. First of all, Andrew Wall on Wall of Red is a fantastic thing in itself. So, welcome, mate. I'm fucking hyper. Just someone say something.
Buzzing, happy. Cavani's good-looking man. Don't kick him out of bed. I'm sure Nicole will say yeah too, but listen, he's just out of this world, isn't he? Different gravy, different class. Absolutely amazing.
Connor, Slabhead, tell me, captain, you've captained us to a Europa League final and you're already on All for United. How are you feeling, mate?
I know. Did you enjoy that?
I did. Thank you, captain. I mean, I would have liked it if you didn't have to, make a keeper make so many saves, but,
I know. It was a bit shaky. I mean, when the second goal went in, I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. It's a bit annoying. But those 5 minutes after that second goal was a bit... Yeah, cutting it a bit fine, because if they get a third, then I would have been a bit on the edge of the seat. But no, I mean, ultimately, if you're not happy we've got to a final, no matter what the tournament is, you're in the wrong sport. I mean, it's a final. We've got to 4 semi-finals and a final under Ollie. That's pretty good progress in my eyes. And like you said, it's quite funny. Arsenal sack Emery and then get knocked out of him in the same competition. So, fantastic.
And with a former player in their team. They had Coquelin play, for fuck's sake. Coquelin's shit. And they made him look amazing. Wesley, were you also shitting yourself throughout that second half? Because, as Connor said, first half we were okay. We got the lead. Good result to take into half time. And I think, okay, let's take some of the key players out. Let's give them some rest. Yeah. Second half starts. Roma get that goal, and then they probably could have scored 3 in the space of 6 minutes. What were you thinking at that time?
Yeah, I think when the second goal went in, it's the same as Connor. Really, I think that the 5 minutes after the second goal went in, our heads seemed to, it's like throwing a spanner in the works. We didn't really know what, how to counter what came at us. I mean, I did expect Roma to score at least 2 tonight. I'm not going to lie, because you've got to look at complacency as well with the scoreline. The congested fixture list that's up and coming as well. The intensity was probably not going to be as, as the tempo was probably not going to be as quick as what we would expect given the lead that we did have in the game. But yeah, when the second goal did go in, you can't help but think, are we going to self-destruct here? Are we going to go back into our usual semi-final routine of leaking more goals? But, thankfully, I mean, the guys seem to get themselves together within that, after that 5-minute scare. And yeah, we seem to get back in the game. And, as soon as we got the second goal with Cavani, that little 5-minute spell feeling that I had just disappeared, and I could get excited for Gdansk then. So,
yeah, and the reason that a big reason why we didn't capitulate completely within those 5 minutes is because of a fantastic performance from David De Gea, who was a wall in the net. So I'm going to go to Andrew to talk about David De Gea. You see that? I should be a host,
I say David De Gea was just brilliant tonight. I mean, the race is on between him and Henderson to be number one, but I mean, he's showing all the fight to remain as number one. I mean, the saves he pulled off. I mean, I mean, that 10 minutes where our defensive display was just like the players just went to sleep. I mean, if De Gea wasn't making them saves, we could have easily been like 7-7, and then would have been in real trouble. But I mean, thanks to Edison Cavani and his two goals, we've. I know we lost and it's disappointing, but him tonight was just fantastic. But I mean, De Gea is just, he's just, whether he remains next season, well, remains to be seen. But he's putting up the fight for it. So we'll just have to wait and see.
100%. He seems to be, at the minute, our backup goalkeeper because he's starting in the Europa League. But performances like that, it's giving headaches and it's going to give him decisions. Obviously, we spoke about De Gea at one end. We're going to go to the other end because the comments are absolutely loving him. Everyone in the comment, by the way, there's loads of you watching. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, I can see a couple of you are. Head over to youtube.com/AllForUnited. Come join us there. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. All that jazz. Nat, you mentioned him earlier. I'm going to ask you again, but first, let me play some music for you.
Cavani just passing the ball
and watch him score the goal.
Give it to Eddie Cavani. Just passing the ball and watch him score.
No, tell me how good he is.
Give it. Oh my God! Like the first half when he had that chance, and I thought, he didn't miss it, but the keeper saved it. I thought it was a great save, but I thought he hit it straight at him in a way. But it doesn't matter because I think the first goal that he scored, he sort of did hit it at him, but it was such a powerful strike that he just went through. The keeper couldn't, do anything. And then obviously the way he scored that header, man, it was beautiful. Like the Bruno ball, and he was like, not offside. Like I was watching Savage going, he's already said it's not, and he just knew. He knows when to make the run. He knows what to do. He's having the form of his life, 2 goals per game. You're looking at unstoppable. I'm seeing the memes and all the people saying, Falcao vibes, when he first joined. And I'm not even going to lie, I was a bit, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? And he's been in and out, injured. But, oh, my God, he's just everything we need. And I'm so happy it's looking like he's going to sign because, I think fans deserve it. He deserves the adulation and the love. And, Bruno as well. Can't wait to get back in and see him. It's just going to be different gravy. And I think it puts more energy in places where we need. So people are going to create for him more with what we're going to save through having him. And it's just going to, I'm excited, man. I think we going to do bits next year, proper bits, real bits. I think win this and then push on, This is just the brick. This is just the foundation. Yeah. Wait till next year.
Exactly. She's, you know what? She's, I need to have Nat on my shows more often because we're on a wavelength here. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say it for the end of the show, but you already know what it is. Callum, I'm going to ask you about, what should I ask you about? Because all I can think about is Edison Cavani. What do I ask you? Who else played? Greenwood. Oh, yeah, by the way, how mint was it to see Cavani just rock up and just beat the fuck out of anyone who teaches Greenwood?
Mad Uruguayan bastard, isn't he?
No, that's who I want to talk about. Callum, talk to me about Eric Bertrand Bailly.
Oh, he's a frigging psychopath, isn't he? I love how in the was it the first half and he just went to head the ball and just nearly knocked him clean out. I don't even know what he was trying to do there, to be honest. I saw a picture on Twitter of him just lying in the net. I just if you showing him as a footballer in 50 years' time, you'd wonder actually what his job was. He is a bit of a lunatic, isn't he? I've literally got the goals up here and just watching them now. Tellers didn't have the best game though either, did they? No. Best second half anyway. Yeah, but Bailly, I don't think he did that bad really. I can't remember him being at fault for any of the goals. He's not played since the second half against Milan, has he? So I think he did well to come in after such a period out. So fair play to the guy, and it's nice to see him still being his usual mad bastard self.
Incredible. He might be the best centre-back in the world.
Yeah, let's go with that, shall we?
I'm worried that nobody in this stream said, no, he's not God. He's saved. Everyone believes it. He might be the most entertaining footballer to ever play the game.
Yeah, I think that.
Ronaldo
can't stay fit and he can't.
That's a problem. But we've given him a bloody 3 year plus 1 contract. Do we think, is that... I mean, is it worth it? Is it not? Where do we think on that?
Eric Bailly's like a classic Rolls Royce, man. You bring him out a couple times a year, and every time it comes out, everyone's like, "Whoa!" Do you know what I mean?
Oh, right, okay, got you. I was wondering where you were going with that. Yeah, you bring him out twice a year.
Yeah. To be honest, though, I think his ball skills are quite underrated. He is good on the ball. You know, he's a quick centre. He's lightning quick, but I know he's rash at times, and he tries Cruyff turns in his own 18-yard box. You know, but honestly, his ball. When I watch him, Harry Maguire's next level on the ball. Like his passing range and his distribution is phenomenal. But Eric Bailly's passing and desire to go forward and bring midfielders into play. I think it was a goal against. It might have been West Ham away this year, when he played the ball straight into the centre forward, directly running forward as a centre half. He's a bit like, I'm not going to compare the two because Rio was next level. But coming out from the back, he's very good at it. He's quite underrated in my own opinion. But I really rate Eric Bailly. It's just a shame that he's slammed with injuries more often than not.
Sorry, Wes, I'm not laughing at what you're saying. I've just seen some incredible comments, and there's a private chat that Mark's just put. He's put Karthik's ball skills are underrated, not just Bailly's. I was like, sure.
Do you know what? Though? He comes across as he's the most skillful centre back ever. He does, and he comes out and does the most pointless step over when no one's near him.
That's what skillful footballers do.
Do you know what? He run that point in the game. He run about 70 yards with the ball. And literally, he ran the length of the pitch, and just the final ball was he passed it straight to Mancini, I think it was. He should have just
gone for it himself.
Yeah.
Callum, right? I need to ask you a question. What did Eric Bailly do to Henrik Mkhitaryan?
He nutted him. He nutted him.
He did what?
He nutted him.
I think you mean nutmeg.
No, he nutted him. He
some of our international viewers might read that and think something else, Callum.
Oh, maybe that's man. It's a bit too Mancunian.
I knew what you meant.
He headbutted him.
Right, there we go. That's
he didn't spunk on him. He headbutted him.
I was going to say, just to add on by, I mean, his athleticism, his pace and presence also complements Maguire in the defence, where sometimes Lindelof doesn't. So, and I mean, his ability to burst forward is also exciting as well. If not, sometimes he makes you a little nervous. But with our set pieces being a weakness, maybe if he'd have been in the defence more, we might have saved a few more goals with his aerial presence. So
yeah. I think
that's the problem with him, is his fitness, isn't it? Yeah. Speaking of nutting on people, Mark, how's your evening been?
How's my mic?
So what? How's your mic? Yeah, fine.
It was clicking earlier. That's why I didn't know. It's been good, mate. Obviously, we got through. Thanks for the little jibe there, you bastard. I'll get you back tomorrow. Yeah, good. We lost 3-2. Bit disappointing, but we're through to the final. And not against Arsenal, who seems to be our bogey team. So I do fancy our chances in the next game. I know we're going to do a preview on it, but I really feel that they can't really get too many goals, and we should be able to get them on the counter. So, but yeah, it was good. We're through, and I'm happy about
that. I have just seen an interesting comment that I'd like to just someone to respond to. Jacob says he once dated a South African lass who reminded his mates of Cavani.
Well, she was good looking then. So that's all you need to worry about, Jacob.
Well, yeah, to be fair, I said earlier tonight, if I ever have a son, he's going to be called Bruno Edinson by Stone.
Oh, wonderful. Hang on a minute, what's this? To think people thought Lampard and Arteta are better managers than Solskjaer. Exactly! He's outlasted fucking Lampard. He's got to a final that Arteta has, and he's outlasted fucking Mourinho. Who else has he outlasted?
Pretty good for a PE teacher, right?
I quite like PE.
Pochettino as well. He's outlasted him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
Well, yeah.
Well, not technically, but...
Yeah, he's better than him, it's fine. Yeah. There's supposed to be a structure to these shows, and I just don't care today. I'm just gonna let it flow. You know what? I don't care. We've won a final. There's no need to go, you know what? We're going to talk about this, and I'm going to talk about this. Fucking tell me how buzzing you are. Who's going to Poland?
Well, yeah, I've seen ticket. I've seen that the club are saying, book on, get ready. So it looks good. Maybe something's going to come out soon. We can go, hopefully.
I heard Ben's paying for all of us to go.
So did I.
There you go.
That was in the chat earlier, wasn't it? I mean, to be honest with you, with the current climate, United have to pay me to go.
Oh, wonderful. You won't get through because you're
Yeah,
part
but
side.
I go out just for the day, just for the trip in it. Even if you can't get a ticket, just go out for the giggle.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm asking for the Thursday, Friday off work. I can go inside a pub, drink an actual pint, and watch Man United on the TV. I can't wait.
Wonderful. What do you make of this comment then? Because we've just been speaking about Bailly. Ugly Bear thinks Bailly and Maguire didn't work. Anyone want to agree, disagree with that?
Is he fishing?
I don't know.
Well, we've had this conversation before. It didn't work tonight. You're absolutely right. However, Maguire works much better alongside a quick centre-back. Now, on another day, when Bailly was fitter earlier in the season, we had the run of games, we weren't conceding, he played 4 or 5, much better. So I completely disagree with that, but tonight, yeah, I would agree with it.
I don't think Maguire and Bailly were at fault for any of the goals, though. It was the fullbacks and Fred, from what I remember.
Yeah, fullbacks and Fred, and then you had, Maguire did leave his man for one of the goals, but that's not a partnership issue. That's just a lack of concentration in the defensive setup at that point, wasn't it, really?
Do we still think Bailly's presuming he's fit, do we still think he's first choice over Lindelof, or is Lindelof the first choice?
No, Lindelof's first choice, isn't he? I think they're probably looking at bringing a centre back, which in my opinion, I don't think isn't as necessary as a lot of people make out. But I think if you put a defensive mid in front of those two centre backs, I don't think we'd need to bring in a centre back.
Totally agree with that. And really, if you look at it, it's a good problem to have. Look, whilst we've criticised and we've seen some poor defensive performances, to have Maguire, Lindelof and Bailly is not a bad thing to have, and maybe a couple more. So I agree with you, Callum. A centre-back will certainly be something we'll look at, but I don't think that'll be this summer. And why would we at the moment?
No.
Yeah, I think we seem to forget about Axel as well. I think he's a really solid defender as well. I think there's more important areas in the pitch we need to look at before we even look at centre-back. So I think you're right, Mark. I thought, as much as we might be looking at it, I don't think it's as necessary as a lot of people make out, and I don't think it'll be this summer, to be honest.
It's not if as you say Axel sticks around, but I feel like the boat might have sailed on Axel a little bit. Just get that feeling where you think, is he gonna get his chance? Is he gonna make it? And I don't see it.
Well, I hope so, just so we can sing his chant at Old Trafford next season, really.
Oh, well, yeah, 100%. I love that chant. Let's see what else the comments are saying. Comments, get in. Tell us what you want us to talk about, because obviously I don't give a shit at the minute. Tellers was very shaky defensively, albeit he's not played much recently. Van der Beek looks rusty at times also. So, okay, right, we'll go on that then. We'll start with Tellers. Obviously, his competition's Luke Shaw, so it's going to be hard anyway. I mean, he's competing with the best left back in the league, possibly one of the best left backs in Europe at the minute. What does he have to do? Because he's getting his chance today, doesn't take it, and I don't think he's really taken any of his chances to say, you know what, this is me at my fullest, highest performance level. So, what is the opinion on Alex Tellers at the minute? Anyone?
I think it's early days.
Go on, Wes.
I think it's early days with Alex Tellers at the moment. He's not had a lot of game time for obvious reasons. Luke Shaw's been absolutely, immense this season. The signing of Tellers seems to have given Luke Shaw that little bit of extra drive and determination to, nail down a place and put in arguably 8, 9, 10 out of 10 performances week in, week out. Away from Bruno Fernandes, you've got to say that, he's arguably our player of the year this year. He's been absolutely outstanding. But Alex Tellers, obviously, there's no denying that he is a good left back. I mean, his defensive duties are a bit questionable at times. He got caught out twice at the far stick, lost his man twice tonight. I think it was a very difficult game to come into in terms of the way that Roma were pressing from the front. They were attacking with 4 and 5 forwards every time, which left obviously one man unmarked in the box. But yeah, I'm not going to judge him too much. I hope he does stick around, because I do think, he's a very good addition to have to our squads. You've only got to look back a few years ago when we had the likes of, Darmian in the team. We've gone from Darmian to having, Alex Tellers on the bench, which is a massive plus for us. I'm always looking at the squad rather than the 11. And I think we need to have players that, hungry on the bench and want to compete for places within the team and want to be starting, rather than having players who are happy to sit on the bench and not make a difference to the team. But he wasn't great tonight, and I think that Donny van der Beek was okay. But these players obviously will get better with game time. What we got to remember is as well, they didn't have a full pre-season. And obviously, once they get that under their belt, I'm pretty confident that we'll see the best out of most of our players next season, especially with a full pre-season, and hopefully some of the players will have a good Euros too.
Yeah, no, I agree with you in terms of. I mean, I really agree with you with your point in that you have to look at it as a squad, not just to start an 11. And I think a lot of our fans tend to look at it as an 11 and go, "Oh, we can improve here, here, and here." But then you forget that actually. The bench needs to be strong as well. You can't just throw people out and go, right, Tellers isn't good enough, sell him, sign someone else. It's not FIFA. You've got to build a squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's spot on with that. Slabhead, I'll ask you about Van der Beek because he got his I'm used to it now. I'll ask you about Van der Beek. He got his chance today. A lot of us thought, this was the game where he probably had to start. I mean, if he didn't start today, he's never getting a chance, is he? What did you make of him today, and what did you think about his chances going forward?
I mean, I'm probably going to ruffle a few feathers here, but I'm still not sold on him, if I'm being honest, and I haven't been since the day we signed him. So this is not just reactionary or whatever else you want to call me in the comments, but I've said this since the day we signed him, that I wasn't too sold on him, and I don't think I think he can get there. Let me get that out of the way first. He definitely can become a brilliant player for the squad.
Hang on, Connor is not overrated. Shut up, skeptic.
Oh, sorry, I can't believe that.
I was going to say, Connor, how can you dislike yourself so much, man?
Sorry, I'll try better for next time. But no, I mean, on Van der Beek, yeah, I've got no doubt he can be that player. I've just never been sold in the performances. I don't remember maybe Brighton very, very at the start of the season. I don't remember a performance where he's gone, right, yes, he's really put in a good shift. He needs to be starting next match. He's never had one of those outstanding performances. So, yes, I get it. He's in and out of the squad, and that will be difficult for him, playing with different players every time he comes in. But I think our fan base, in my own opinion, overhype. I think we expect him to be better than he is at this level, at this stage. Like I say, I've got no doubt he can get there, but I'm not quite sold on him at the moment. So I'll throw that out there and let you debate that.
Well, I'll go to Andrew first. Anything to say on what Connor just said? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
So Van der Beek, I mean, I thought he could do a bit more in the game, like the first half. I just wasn't seeing much of him. But I mean, when he was getting the ball, it was like clean first touches. He was always looking forward. But I just wanted. This was the game where he could have staked a claim, say up to Ollie, I want to be in the starting 11 for the final, and just probably fell short in that respect. But I just believe from next season onwards, we will see the best out of him. So just this first season, I think a bit like with Fred when he first came in, we just thought, is he going to make it? And obviously Fred has improved since. So I'm hoping we get to see the best from him next season, hopefully.
Callum, I want to ask you this because when we signed Van der Beek, there was a lot of rumours that he would probably play a squad role, and then he might get into the first team when we probably sold Pogba. Now it's looking like Pogba's going to stay. So do you think that changes what the original plan was for Van der Beek? Do you reckon he was signed as a Pogba replacement, or do you reckon he was meant to be part of the squad and this is just his role?
I always said he was probably sold as a Pogba replacement, but there's no doubt in my mind that Pogba's probably a better player. I think he'd be an absolutely brilliant player to have in the squad, to be honest, because he's such an intelligent footballer. You see, I can't remember what game it was, but I don't think he came on for about 10 minutes the other week and didn't touch the ball once. Yet was instrumental in one of the goals without even going near the ball. So he's a highly intelligent, very capable, good footballer. I just think maybe the lack of minutes he's had on the pitch this season, has probably highlighted that he's a bit lacking on confidence and probably a little bit, probably just not as up there at the minute. I think if you were to give him a run of games, you'd probably see what a good player he can be. We saw it at Ajax, we saw how highly rated he was there just by the fact of how gutted they were to see him go. So, I'd love to see him play more minutes because he is a genuinely good footballer, but I think with the likes of Pogba staying, it might be a case of him having more of a squad role. If he'd be okay with that is another matter though.
Yeah, because I mean, the rumours when we signed him was that he had this conversation with Ollie. Now, obviously, no one knows what that conversation was, but that was enough to convince him to sign. So it depends whether there were certain promises made, whether there was a case of, well, this season you're going to play a squad role, and then maybe next season he gets 4 minutes. I don't know. When we talk about squad roles, though, you think about the concept of rotation. Now, there's a couple of comments that's similar to John's that says the only criticism that he'd have of Ollie is that he doesn't rotate his team enough. Always sticks with a core group of 15 to 16. That's why players like Williams, Tellez, maybe even Daniel James you could throw in there as well. Not great as they haven't played. Matt, how much do you agree with that statement? Do you reckon Ollie could rotate more? Or do you think the quality's not good enough to rotate?
No, I think he could rotate. I think it's a bit of both. I think potentially some of them aren't good enough to rotate. So, Brandon, maybe. I mean, I think we've seen a bit with, like you were saying about Axel. Is he good enough to rotate? So I think with some of them, you can say that. But I think with potentially Donny and Tellez, obviously, sure, we're talking about him as being one of the best left backs, the way he creates chances. So, yeah, you want him to be playing all the games. But I think then when you don't play Tellez, then you see a not as confident, not as up there kind of performance to the level. And then obviously you're bringing him on versus Roma. Roma are a good side. They're pressing. They want to, make a statement. And you're not really seeing the best Tellez that we can see. I don't know why he doesn't do it. I think he was, obviously he likes his players that he plays, week in, week out. It's the same starting 11. And I'm all for that. But I do think, it's a big, long, tough season. You need to be playing, rotating a bit more. I think it's to do with the squad depth as well. Because I think I don't want to look at other teams, but, other benches are stronger. So I do think, when we do talk about, like what was said before in here, we need to have a strong, 16, 20 even, looking at, 2 players for every position rather than just, the 11 getting stronger. The 11 does need to get stronger. There's positions that we all know we need to strengthen in, but, if then say someone got injured, you have to have that backup, or if, like times like this where you don't want to have to play your best team all the time, you need to have that backup. That's why in a way I sort of want, I know he probably won't, but I want David to stay because I think that he won't want to play a backup, but to have for him, he just showed, listen, the quality is there, first and second choice. And, I think for the left back as well, the quality is there. Just like we said, he's not played enough, Tellez. I think we'll probably see better from him next year.
Yeah, I know exactly why Tellez wasn't very good tonight. Because I think either yesterday or on the day before's show, I said he was a really good player, which is now why he's played shite tonight.
Right, what I want you to do on our VRAL preview, just tell them they're all good footballers.
I just won't come on that week. Won't come on at all.
That's probably a good idea. Che's in the comments. First of Che, was he the one that won the draw, the Football Town draw? I believe he was. Hope you got your T-shirt and stuff like that, mate. Hope you're enjoying the prize. Mark, do you think that we will see rotation in the coming week? Because we've got a lot of games and not a lot of time. Will we still see fucking wan-bissaka start every fucking game, Bruno start every fucking game, Rashford probably play with one leg? Do you reckon that's going to happen, or do you reckon we might actually, see Daniel James get a couple of games? Maybe even Ahmad play a game or two?
Yeah, I think we've got to. As you say, we've got a huge amount of games coming up in the next 7 days. And I think it's imperative that he does rotate the squad. Ultimately, we want to cement that second position. And then we want to have enough of our first team players for the final on the 26th. So I think it's absolutely vital that he does, and I really hope he does. I think you're absolutely right. We spoke about this last week. I think this is my biggest critic for Ollie. What I was pleased with tonight, though, is Brandon Williams on the right. I'm not overly keen with a right-footed player playing on the left, and vice versa. And I've said for a long, long time now that he would be good cover for Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I say good cover, he has his frailties and his things that we get frustrated with, but having a right-sided player on that right-hand side is far better. Wasn't great when he came on, but we haven't seen him for weeks. So, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, the rotation thing is a fair comment because we saw Daniel James not play a game for about 3 months, and then suddenly he's thrown in playing, I think it was 3 games on the bounce. And it's like, well, it's weird. Like, was that the plan? Are they working on things in training for him to be ready to play? Is that what it is? I don't know. But I would like to see him rotate a little bit more. I agree. What? Hang on. First of all, Che, still waiting. Oh, bloody hell! Right, we'll get on that then. Hopefully, hopefully we'll get that prize very soon. There's a lot of comments about Ahmad. Callum, do we think? Yeah, go on then. We'll go with Callum. I was going to say Connor, but I went with Callum, so we're going to go with Callum. It's because I keep calling you Slabhead. I don't think your name's Connor.
I know. You wouldn't be surprised if you've made me in your phone as Slabhead as well.
You know what? I'm going to do that right now.
Connor as well.
I'm gonna do that right now while I ask Callum this question. Ahmad, do you reckon we see him at all in the next 4 games?
We might see him in a cameo at the end of the season, but I think what we need to remember with Ahmad is he barely played a game at Atlanta. I think he played about 40 minutes of football in the first team. So the idea of just throwing him in at the minute is probably a little silly, and I think Ollie's probably managing it quite well. I think we're probably more likely to see him in the under-23s throughout the rest of the season than see him in the first team. We might see him in the last game of the season. Yeah, we might see him in the last game of the season for a quick run around once we've got maybe second or third secured. But I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't, to be honest.
Ben's in the comments and he's just put Che CM. Is he playing centre mid? What's going on? I assume he meant DM. Yes, I assume he meant DM, defensive mid, not centre mid. Any final thoughts on today's? I'm just shit when we win games. You know what? United need to stop winning games so that I'm a bit more sensible on these shows. You know, that's a good point. What was I about to say? I can't think of what I was about to say, so I'm going to go to Wes and go. Final thoughts on today's games?
You want to again?
Final thoughts on today, because I mean we saw Villarreal get through, we saw United get through. What kind of a final are you expecting? Because remember, Unai Emery loves this tournament.
Yeah, well, he proved that when he was at Sevilla. He obviously knows how to dig out a result. They've gone to Arsenal today and kept a clean sheet. In the first game, they were the better side as well. I think we'll have a good final. We'll have a good game. But I think obviously we'll be too much for him on night. I think that now we've got over the hurdle of the semi-final, voodoo. I think that we will turn up for this game, and I do fancy us. I think providing we've got the players available and that we look after our players between now and then, obviously with squad rotation and don't go too strong in every game. Yeah, I do fancy us. I think that we actually look like. We'll go back to last year. You were watching games and we were in an hour and say the last year or two what United are going to turn up. In the latter end of this season, we seem to be a team that are just going to turn up, play well. We're more consistent, and I think there's more players playing well within the team individually. We're not just relying on Bruno Fernandes now. There's more players within this team that have stepped up, and I'm really, I am confident that we'll get to we'll win the final.
Yeah, I'd hope we'd get to the final. I mean, hopefully there's no, restrictions on flights. Andrew, as I mentioned, Emery loves this tournament almost as much as Pep loves the Carabao Cup. Are you at all worried that United might find it difficult? Because let's not forget, while Emery has the experience, I mean, I think Rio said this on the post-match, but not our post-match, I meant BT's post-match. While Emery has the experience of winning that tournament, we've got a couple of players that have won the Europa League as well. How important do you think that's going to be?
I think it's going to be very important. Well, for those players that have experience, and then to pass that on to the others that haven't experienced a final before. I mean, as I say, well, it's disappointing to lose tonight, but we had done the job already in the first leg. So I think we've got more than enough attacking quality to get past Villarreal and. Be winners come May 26th in Gdansk. So
why has that made me laugh? It's just a shit comment. Why is that this good evening guy likes to Oh, why has that made me laugh so much? Sorry, Andrew, carry on with what you were saying.
I'd say the 26th of May, it'll be 22 years to the date since the 99 Champions League final, so it could be literally written for Ollie.
May! Why have you just given me that? I'm going to tweet that later and just be shameless as fuck about it.
I was going to say that momentarily, Andrew, you bastard.
Sorry,
you know what's going to happen in the commentary if we win now? They're going to go, oh, Shara's won it. Yeah, well done, mate. Yeah. Really original. Really
as long
original.
as long as Jermaine Genius isn't commentating, anyway.
Oh, mate.
Oh, he's a useless knobhead.
Are we doing a watch along? I know that
I
was.
don't know. I'm going to try and get the day off work. I'll see. I mean, I don't know. Why would anyone want to watch me watch a football game? That's not going to be entertaining, is it?
I would. I'd pay money.
I don't think anyone wants to see that. I mean, they'd want to watch it if we win. I think. I hope. You know. Oh, hang on. You know what? That's even better. That's a better way of putting it, to be honest. Written for Ollie on Sir Matt Busby's birthday. Love that. Callum, how important is it that we win this final now? I mean, I know it's important because it's a trophy, but in terms of showing progress, because you could say we've got to stop laughing. I'm trying to do a serious interview here, Mark. Fucking hell. Yeah, so in terms of progress, because we've reached the semi-final, great. You could say, yeah, we reached the final, but losing a final is pretty much the same as losing a semi. No one gives a shit. So is it vital that to shut out the Ollie Outers almost, how important is it to win?
Yeah, to be fair, I do hate it when I lose a semi. Yeah, it's really important that we win it, obviously.
Everybody is on fire tonight. Well done. Well done.
This show's a mess. Oh. All right, go on. Tell us about what happens when you get through to the semi. I mean, past the semi.
I don't know. What do you want me to
Well,
say?
to be fair, when you get past the semi, it usually ends well, doesn't it?
Well, depends on who you are.
It's turned into an uncut show, this has.
Oh, no.
I think we're gonna have to get like the 18 only sign before this show starts.
Ben's got
It's all right. It's after the watershed, depending on where you are in the world.
That really tickled me.
Yeah, it's frigging really important that we win because I want to be celebrating in the pub, not down in shots of absinthe because I'm depressed. So, yeah, I want to win the game. Throw a little another Glazer out protest as well. Why not get the game postponed? Let's go for it. I'm up for that.
Bloody hell! You know what? Well, right. Let's just get the Europa League final postponed.
We're on the pitch in Gdansk.
Shut up, John. We just got to a final. We're not talking about football. I mean, that is technically football, but you know what? John? Stay away from Uncut. You don't belong there. No, I'm joking. Please come to Uncut. Yeah, sorry, Nat, by the way. I'm going to go to you next, Nat. First of all, how buzzing are you? And second of all, do you reckon we'll win?
Yeah, 100%. I think, the momentum that we're on going through, I think Wesley just said, the way we've sort of gone from which United's going to turn up to like bang, confident, winning all these games. Bruno, even though he's not on form, he's still creating. Cavani scoring more than a goal per game. The defence, Luke Shaw, wan-bissaka. I think Maguire even has stepped up in a way. The keepers, the way they're pushing each other. I think it's going to be, it's going to be tough. I don't think it's going to be like easy. I think we thought maybe today would have been a bit more easy. It wasn't easy, but I think when we turn it on, we're a different team. You see Matt, but it is when we turn it on.
When we turn it on, we get past the semi.
Sexy Bruno and sexy Cavani, when they're on it, boom. We're going to do bits.
I'm so sorry. I literally lost it again. So I had to walk away. Been very funny tonight, though. Well done, Karthik.
What do you mean, well done, me? I'm not said anything.
There's
Don't blame this on me. Callum says he hates it when he loses a semi. Nat's just said we're going to turn it on in Gdansk, right? Yeah. And it's going to turn into a massive. You know what? I'm not going to say it. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. Thank Andrew did not want me to complete that sentence. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look. Karthik, if Ollie wins Europa and finishes second, where does that rate Ollie as a manager? Good question. Very good question. Yeah, probably that. Well, that is a good question, to be fair. Probably second best manager in the league, mate.
It means that there's been progress.
Kagiso.
Nail on the head. Absolutely. Nail on the head.
I mean, we go back to the beginning of the season. We were lucky to get third. Everyone was disappointed, including myself. We didn't get through semi-finals. And at the beginning of the season, with the abysmal start, we would never have expected this. We're now second, 7 points potentially, and into a final. Progress.
Do you know what though? Admit it, right? So the way United have been over the last 8 years, regardless of how good Ollie's been as a manager for us, admit it. When Roma scored those 2 goals, every single one of us thought, "Oh shit," which is mental because I think they still needed to score another 3, and we still, as United fans, thought, "Yeah, we're going to lose this game."
I didn't. But then, as we all know, I chat shit. So I was fully bricking it. I was like, you know what? If I wouldn't even be surprised if we bottled this at this point because it's just what we do in a semi-final, isn't it? Wonderful. It's been a decent. It's not been a decent season, right? If we finish second and win the Europa League, it's been a very good season. It's been a successful season of clear progress. You can't say it's a decent season. Che, why are you trying to ruin my night?
I've got a question for you all.
For me? Oh, right,
for all of you, what would you prefer? Going through in the group stage of the Champions League, getting quarter-final, semi-final, and finishing second in the league, or finishing second in the league and winning the Europa League?
No-brainer trophy for me all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not going to win the Champions League, I mean, let's not talk about. We don't talk about that on this show.
Kagiso's just made a very good point. On a serious note, the UEFA Super Cup will be a Manchester derby, or it could be. That could be fun.
It won't be.
It's in Belfast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it a lot easier.
Do you know what would really make up for that one, though? Is if they did actually do another Glazer out protest and that did get postponed. Obviously, there's a lot of United fans in Ireland.
You know what? That's actually very true. That's very true. Imagine if you got the Super Cup postponed. And then we can win the Super Cup. You know what, Che? You've made my night now. Well done. Well done. I love that. Hang on. No. Skeptic. Europa League is a wooden spoon. No, it's a trophy. You can't say that. So you're trying to tell me that you want to be in the Champions League, not win it, and you'd rather have that than be in a tournament and win it? What?
I mean, not on a consistent basis.
No, of course not. But on one season, if you're gonna go into the Champions League and you don't go, you know what, we'll settle for quarterfinals. You're not doing that, are you? You want to win the thing.
No. I think
winning a trophy is far bigger for the team at the moment.
Yeah,
exactly. Especially for this tournament. Say that again, Connor.
No, I was going to say you go for every tournament you're in. You know, we're not like Klopp and bin off a tournament just because you want to win another one. You go for every tournament you're in.
You tell him, Connor. Bloody Klopp.
You tell him, Slabhead.
I was going to say, just on Ollie, every test he's been thrown at him, he's come through it. I mean, like back in was it October, November, when talk of him losing his job, he came through that test. We went out of the Champions League, then we just bounced back in the Europa League.
We don't talk about that, Andrew.
Yeah, no more talk about that. But then we just bounced back in the Europa League, and then unfortunately we didn't maintain the title challenge, but we're going to get still second and secure Champions League, and should we hopefully win the Europa League. So it'll be a season of progress again.
100%.
Well, I think it'll be a better season next year with. I think the COVID thing, all the way that it was all crammed in at the end, and then the way it all started, and then I know about the proper pre-season. So I think, sort of it was the start of the year, the group phase, and obviously that all happened, and with the games
we don't talk about that.
I know, but I just think all this, and even with the rotation, when you think about it, it'd be easier to put some of these lads into like the 23s and get them built up game time. I know they can already, but it's just with bubbles and all that. So I just think it's going to be a lot better. This is what you do talk about, winning the big ones. Let's look at that. This is the foundation, like I said.
Exactly.
To the big one.
That's on the right page. Yeah. Also, she mentioned bubbles, and then I just remembered what I said about bubbles, and that's not a good topic to talk about either, because West Ham fans hate me at this point. Also, right, let's make this clear. Right, I'm going to say this one more time. We don't talk about the Champions League until we're in it. Right? I've made this clear.
You can piss off.
Hey?
You can piss off, Mark. I just saw the comment on YouTube.
What did it say? Stupid. Speaking of Fred, did anyone see that brilliant piece of play by Eric Bailly to play a pass off his back? Can you? Yeah. Sorry, Virgil van Dijk and Ruben Diaz and John Stones. Can they do that, mate? No, they can't. That's ball playing. It's ball playing centre backs right there. Right, I feel like we need to end this show at this point because I'm just getting a bit I mean, I'm not drunk. I feel tipsy. So, Mark, tell me we're going to win the Europa League, mate.
Yeah, we're going to win the Europa League.
Connor, Slabhead, tell me you're going to be lifting the Europa League, mate.
Of course. And it'll be brilliant to see. Do I go in character my manager and everyone else's manager?
You know what? Hang on. Right. Hang on. Right.
Oh,
go.
Good role play, Harry.
Do you want me to repeat that one? I can't speak in a Sheffield accent if that's what you're asking me to do here. But no, it'll be brilliant to see. I can't do accents, mate. I wouldn't even know where to start with
He's
that
from
one.
down south. Are you joking?
But no, it will be brilliant to see Ollie, my manager, win the Europa League and lift it in front of the 2,000 United fans that are going to be there, hopefully. So
when you bury one with your head.
Yes, Slabhead. Do you reckon Harry Maguire, when he jumps up for a corner, just shouts "Avi" every time he heads it? He should do. Wesley, tell me we're going to win the Europa League and do a cool little tip of the cap.
We're going to win the Europa League because give it to Eddie Cavani. Just pass him the ball and he will score all the goals.
Love it. Andrew Wall, tell me we're going to keep a clean sheet because your surname's Wall.
So yeah, we're going to definitely win the Europa League, and it'll put Ollie in a brilliant position as well, showing he's making progress. Sometimes, often accused of not achieving. So it'll be great for Ollie and the team to win this tournament.
I feel like I've held you all hostage, and I'm just forcing you to say these things. Callum, tell me we're going to win the Europa League, mate.
Yeah, we will. But
why do you sound right?
Well,
take two.
Slow down.
Why do you sound so hesitant?
Mate, have you met me? Do you know how pessimistic I am? Allow me, will you? Also, I'll tell you what I'll do. So I'll be in the pub that night watching the game. If we
Probably
win
the
it,
same pub as me, the absolute stalker.
if we win it, I'll get on my phone and I'll join the post-match review, hammered. So that'll be fun.
Oh, wonderful! That'll be a sight to see. Now, before I get, hang on. I need to. Hang on. Right, now tell me we're going to win the Europa League, and tell me who's going to score a hat trick in the final.
Edison Cavani, give it. Spin the ball and watch me score all the goals. Give it to Eddie Cavani. Spin the ball and watch him score all
I
the
love
goals.
this channel. Only this channel will allow.
We're going to win the Europa League and we're going to win the Super Cup. Yeah, boom.
Yeah. Love it, Nat. Right, everyone in the comments, make sure to like this video. Make sure to comment below that we are going to win this bastard tournament. Make sure to let me know if you're going to Gdansk, because we'll need someone there to give us some, hype, I guess.
To stream for us.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, if you wouldn't mind. Right, I'll have some final thoughts then, because people are expecting it. I have to feed Connor's social clips somehow. Right, what should I say? What stupid thing shall I say this time? Fuck it, we'll just go with this. Right, so we nearly fucked it up, but that's what we do these days. We tend to, give people we tend to tease people, just like Cavani's teasing us, saying, I want to go to Boca Juniors, but actually, I'm gonna sign the contract. Just a bit of blue balls here and there. It's fine. We did that to Roma. We thought, we'll let you have a 5-minute spell. We'll let you play around with it a little bit, then we'll pull it away. No, not right now. This euphemism's getting out of hand, so I'm going to carry on. We're through to the final. We don't need to play Arsenal because they're a bunch of shit bastards that can't beat the full manager. They let Francis Coquelin run a game against them. That's a disgrace in itself. Watch as he plays an absolute blinder against us now that I've said it. Villarreal in the final. We're up against Unai Emery, who absolutely wanks himself over the Europa League, so fuck knows what we're going to do. Him and Pep will be sat there with the Carabao Cup and going, yeah, you know what, I love this tournament. No, all these tricky Reds are coming to Gdansk for that trophy. No one's stopping us. We're going to win the Europa League. We're going to win the Super Cup. And then we're going to go for the Premier League. And guess what? That intro will be true because we'll win the Champions League after that, you absolute bunch of psychopaths. See you next time in a bit.